And joining me now is the mayor of Buffalo, Byron Brown. Mr. Mayor, welcome to Meet the Press.
Thank you very much, Chuck.
Look, I know this is an excruciating time to be mayor and that the city's in a lot of pain here. What can you tell me about the latest on the investigation? You know, all of it is still under apparently racially motivated. It certainly seems like we're getting close to dropping the apparently.
We are getting close to dropping that. Law enforcement has been working together around the clock since this occurred at every level, federal, state, county, city, and pieced together very quickly that this was a racially motivated attack. The individual that committed this crime drove from several hours away. They were not from this community, and they drove here with the express purpose of taking black lives.
You know, Mr. Mayor, to sort of see this, we have this toxic stew of this growing right-wing ideology, easy access to guns, and our permissive internet culture that sort of rewards sharing some of this violent ideas. Where do we go first? How do you make African Americans in Buffalo feel safe today? Let me start there.
Well, the thing that this tragedy shows us is that this can occur anywhere. It's not just Buffalo. It's how to make people all across this country feel safe. It's not just African Americans. It's how to make people in urban America, suburban America, and rural America feel safe. The only way to do it is to really get to the point of sensible gun control in this country, to end hate speech on the internet and social media, to stop the proliferation of hateful ideology. Those are the ways that we make black people feel safe in Buffalo, that we make people feel safe all across this country.
Have you been able to spend any time with victim families? What have they been telling you? What would they like you to do?
Tremendous pain. Victims' families just thinking about their loved ones, the precious lives that were lost senselessly, the hurt that they feel, the pain that they feel, and wanting to go on because their loved ones would want them to go on. Buffalo is a loving community. We are known nationally and internationally as the city of good neighbors. So we will, as a community, wrap our arms around the families of those we lost. We will continue to lift them up. We will continue to lift this community up, and we won't let an act of a hateful madman bring this community down and keep our community from moving forward.
Look, there's only so much you can do as mayor. You're going to need some help from the federal level here. What would you like to see from the federal government to make it your job easier to keep Buffalo safe?
Well, we've seen many of these mass shootings around the country, year in and year out, month in and month out, and it's always the same refrain. People send their thoughts and their prayers. Lawmakers in Washington say that there's something that must be done, and then there are some on one side of the aisle that block anything from being done. And it seems like there are those that believe owning a gun is more precious than the sanctity of human life. So I think people all across this country have to rise up. They have to speak more loudly and more clearly that there must be gun control in this country. This is a uniquely American phenomenon. These mass shootings don't happen in other countries across the world. we have to ask ourselves, and more than ask ourselves, we have to take action to stop it after this Buffalo, New York incident, to make sure that other communities, that other families don't go through this again.
Sadly, Mr. Mayor, what you just said to me has been said to me by a lot of mayors in moments like this. And you just pointed it out. And that's the wash, rinse, repeat cycle of Washington not listening to the mayors on this is very frustrating. You know, I know there's not a lot more that can be done, I guess, other than rhetoric here. But is there something else you'd like to see done?
Well, I would like to see sensible gun control. I would like to see ending hate speech on the internet, on social media. It is not free speech. It is not the American way. We are not a nation of haters. We are not a nation of hate. We need to send a message that there is no place on the internet for hate speech, for hate indoctrination, for spreading hate manifesto. So I'd like to see real deliberate action taken on gun control and ending hate speech on the internet. I will be a stronger voice for that. I've heard from mayors all over the country in the aftermath of this incident. I've heard from mayors actually all across the world. And I believe that what happened in Buffalo, New York yesterday is going to be a turning point. I think it's going to be different after this in terms of the energy and the activity that we see.
Mr. Mayor, I hope you're right. I hope you're right. We keep wondering, when is the incident going to be the one that finally shakes us out of this? Mayor Byron Brown of Buffalo, thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Chuck.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.